Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Well, now here's one that's kind of strange, but nonetheless very indicative of the state of the church today. 2 bishops, 2 priests, 2 very different cases. Case 1, in Nashville, Tennessee, a local priest garnered headlines when a video posted on the internet of him saying the Pope should apologize for the church's teaching on contraception. The priest's name is Joseph Patrick Breen. He has a reputation for being an outspoken liberal, and his comments didn't really come as a shock to anyone. But they did prompt a quick response from Bishop David Choby, who told Father Breen, "Retract what you said publicly or face punishment." Good for the bishop. And by the way, you can find other comments from Bishop Choby right here on our website. We interviewed him a couple of years ago. Very, very, very fine bishop. Now, let's move a little further south. The Diocese of El Paso, where another priest went public about church teaching, also garnered some headlines. The case is the exact opposite, however, of the Nashville case. Father Michael Rodriguez wrote a column for the local secular paper where he forthrightly defended and promoted church teaching as regards homosexuality. This case also prompted a rebuke from the local bishop, Armando Ochoa, who upbraided the priest indirectly, saying Father Rodriguez's opinion didn't reflect the necessary elements of being compassionate, tolerant, inclusive, pastoral, dignity, respect. In short, every buzzword used by the liberal crowd to gloss over the very real charitable need to say, continuing in mortal sin leads to misery in this life and damnation in the next, which is what Father Rodriguez was saying. And please skip the predictable line about, well, we can't say for certain if they're in a state of mortal sin. No, we can't. But we can and should say, stop doing what you're doing because it's evil, and there's a very good chance you may well be in a state of mortal sin. Why gamble like that with your eternal destiny? So what we see here in these 2 cases, which both happened in the past week, is the very real dichotomy that exists in the church today. Renegade liberal priests shooting off their mouths in public, and bishops using the charity argument as a skirt to hide behind when it comes to clearly and unambiguously proclaiming the teachings of the church. It's interesting, as a matter of fact, if you read the El Paso bishop's statement very carefully. While Father Rodriguez's article, which prompted the subtle smackdown from the bishop, was talking about the larger issue of homosexuality in general and why it's wrong to try and push so-called same-sex marriage, the bishop only really addressed the issue of same-sex marriage head-on. The rest of his article was about dignity and respect and tolerance and compassion, etc. Not that those qualities aren't needed, of course they are. But Father Rodriguez had already said that. His words now, quote, "I urge all of the Catholic faithful to treat homosexuals with love, understanding, and respect. At the same time, never forget that genuine love demands that we seek above all the salvation of souls. Homosexual acts lead to the damnation of souls," end quote. One wonders exactly what in that message needed clarification. Was it just an opinion and did not necessarily reflect church teaching? When the liberal priest in Nashville blurted out the Pope needs to apologize for the teaching on contraception, you're left wondering what he's talking about. When the Bishop of El Paso says trying to prevent homosexuals from going to hell because of their sins isn't compassionate, you're left wondering. Contrast that now with the case of Bishop David Choby back in Nashville, who made it very clear that the priest had opened his mouth too much. Or the case of Father Rodriguez, who loves homosexuals so much that he opened himself up to mass ridicule and cloaked censure. You're not left wondering in either of those cases. When liberals speak about church teaching, you scratch your head. When non-liberals speak, it's perfectly clear. Such is the state of affairs in the church today. Be careful who you listen to, priest or bishop. And if you find yourself scratching your head, go somewhere else. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.